What is going on, everybody? Welcome to lunchtime. Little break from the workday. Come hang out with my friends. So good to see everybody in the chat today. What's going on? Train to Live, Jody, Denise, Lido, Craig. Good to see every single one of you here today. Going to do a quick dart throw. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm getting worse. What's up, Jose? I know this is a little inside baseball. You guys probably don't even care. I am always playing with the mic in front of my face, right? And there's all these things that I can twist and turn to tighten my mic. For months, this mic has been loose and it's been kind of like bopping a little bit to the left and to the right. And I'm tightening all these things and I can't get it to get towards where I want it. And finally, I come down today, getting set up, and I look and I see that there's this screw inside here that I need an Allen wrench for. And so I had the Allen wrench on my desk from putting everything together, tightened it up, and now it is awesome. It's not moving at all. It is. So I'm going to try to not play with the mic. I'm going to try to leave it alone. But I'm super, super excited that I got that fixed finally after months. I know it's a little thing. You guys probably don't care, but it makes me happy. Jody Lynn, A+ for consistent lunch shows with the dart throw. Well, thank you for that. The actual throw, not so much. Judy Reed, we care. Yeah, it's just something small, and it makes it. Man, that made me happy today. The other thing that made me happy is I told you guys yesterday, we have these 8-hour meetings for yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And today we started to meet and realized that we couldn't go any further because the people who asked for the meeting didn't have all their ducks in a row. So it got canceled for the rest of the day. And that was amazing. That I did not have to sit through an 8-hour meeting today made me even more happy than getting this thing tightened. But Lido, I am totally with you. We don't judge Scott. I'm happy when I find matching plates at the gym. Yeah, it makes me feel weird if I had, and CrossFit Polaris, love them to death, but they have so much equipment, and they have it set up where you kind of have like a lane, and in each lane you have most of the equipment you'll need for the day. And there are tons and tons of plates, and they're just kind of thrown in the middle of the rig. And it's really hard to find 2 matching plates. And it would make me feel so much happier when I could actually find plates that matched. I know they both say 15 pounds, but when they look different, you're like, but are they? You know, who knows? Denise fixed her front door by tightening some screws. See, everybody's getting happy. Everybody's getting happy. So I'm listening to Savon this morning, and Denise said this. Scott got nice kudos from Savon this morning, and I did. It was really odd to hear. He said that he's become addicted to this show. And when he's out in his yard with his fruit trees and all of that kind of stuff. And it's weird for me to hear this. And he didn't know if the show was good or if he just thought the situation he was in was good and made him happy. And maybe it was both, and maybe it was one. But it's funny because that's how I feel about this show. It's one of my favorite things to do now during the day. But to be honest with you guys, like, the reason I started doing this had no bearing on trying to get people to listen or to hang out. It was that I was jealous of other people who could jump on in a moment's notice if news broke and just talk into the camera. I am great when I have other people on here with me. I think that is where I'm better, asking questions, telling stories, bouncing things back and forth. But to sit here and look into a camera and just talk to you all was something that was very, very uncomfortable for me. So the reason I started this show, it was solely to get more comfortable sitting here in front of a camera talking to you. And that is that's why I did it. I did it so that I would be able to jump on at a moment's notice if news broke in the CrossFit space and come on here and talk to people. I work from home. My podcast studio is in my basement. I can run down here quickly. Everything is set up. I just have to turn it all on when I come down here. And so that's why I started. I didn't think many people would listen to me at lunch. I didn't think that this would be a time where people would come in and hang out. I just was doing it for practice, getting reps in so that we could, so that I could do those types of things. And what it's turned out to be is something bigger than that. The audience that this is pulling in is much bigger than I ever thought it would be. I thought I'd have 10 or 12 people in here, and I've got 22 people live in here right now. The last few weeks, been pulling in a couple hundred views a day, which is blowing my mind, because there's never an agenda to this lunch. It is, I wake up in the morning, I kind of see what's been happening. I write down some notes on a little tablet, basically just like this, of things that I want to talk about. And that's what I do. I don't even set up the show until the morning because I don't even know what to make of the rundown, because I don't know what I'm going to talk about until the day of the show. And I know, like, when Corey comes on Wednesdays, he kind of makes fun of me because I never have the show ready and the link ready for him, because I never know what we're going to talk about. So Jay Birch, we're here to talk too. Denise, I'm addicted, but I'm usually at work, 9:15 here. Trained to live now. I have something to look forward to during the day besides the gym. Denise, every rep counts. It does. Judy Reed, I love it when I join and see my husband in here too. You guys need to meet up somewhere. By the way, how'd the fire alarm day work out? Did the trucks come to put out your wife's lunch? We actually got a hold of the fire department before they came. But that is actually odd. They've been here several times. And then I try to meet them at the street so they don't pull up and have to do a bunch of things. But they did not come that day. Thank goodness. Jose, even though it's not my lunch, I still watch it. And Corey says, he never knows what we're going to talk about, but God, we have fun. We do. And Jose, you engage a lot with the viewers too. Yeah, that's kind of what this is about. It's truly, in my head, it's hanging out with my friends, to take a break from my work day, to just kind of empty the cabinet space, start fresh, and go back to the rest of the afternoon. And I love that. So yeah, I was really surprised to hear that said this morning. Very flattered by that. And really, I just wanted to be more like Savon in that aspect. I love the fact he can jump on and just talk into a camera. And that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to do reps to make it so that was possible, and not need someone else here to talk to directly if news broke or anything like that. So that's what's for, and it's turned into way more than that. And I'm so appreciative of each and every one of you. To every one of you who come here, hang out, have comments, and speak your mind, because that's what's cool. Train to live. I'm so sad when there's no Scott on Saturdays, but I know you need a life too. Yeah, Saturdays have kind of just become a family day, and then Sunday, like literally. So this is my Saturday morning is I get up before everybody else in the in Saturday morning, and I work on the show for Sunday night. I build the rundown, I build the thumbnail, I get all the notes together for everybody. I make a Google document that everybody can share, and then that's set up for Sunday. And then the whole weekend is really a lot of news breaks for some reason on the weekend is editing, moving, shaping the rundown for the following Sunday show. And that's what my Saturdays are. That show takes way more work than this one. This one is just jot down some notes on a notepad, come down, let's talk. So enough about me in this show. I'm just very appreciative that you are all here and love the fact that we get to chat and talk and I get a break from my day. Terry, new listener, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoy the show. I want to talk about quickly some Metfix stuff. I know that's shocking to everybody. Sunday night, we had a brief discussion about it. Yesterday, we talked about it more in Athena's article from yesterday or from a couple days before and how it kind of straightened me out. There's more about Athena that's in this story that came out this morning. It was, I think it's in Morning Chalk Up again. She writes a story where she was offered a lot of money to not say the name CrossFit and to come on board to promote Metfix. In the comments of her post on Instagram, there's a lot of back and forth between her and Emily Kaplan talking about what the truth was in that conversation. I've been a friend with Athena for a very long time. I am going to side with my friend. I have a bias there. I will admit that. And for the moment, that's where my allegiance lies. And the reason that I'm even stronger about that is yesterday, Andrew Hiller took some things I said on Sunday night, clipped them together with some things that I said yesterday, and made an IG video. And I'm going to show that to you briefly just for context. So here is the IG video that Andrew Hiller made. If you guys have you seen a single piece of content posted on Metfix's page that isn't stripped from Savant's podcast? I have not, because I looked a lot. I just wish Greg would say his true feelings about what it is and say, like, I believe in the broken science. That is where I'm at. That is what my passion is, to fight against the evils that are out there in the world trying to give bad science. That's what his passion is. I don't think he wants to get nitty gritty of all this. And I wish he'd just say it. And so that was put out yesterday. And so I was kind of surprised by it because I wasn't tagged in it. I didn't know Andrew was going to do that. Corey sent it to me. That's how I figured out that it was even out there. But it's cool to be the Morgan Freeman or the James Earl Jones narrating a Hiller video. That would be a dream of mine, to be that narrator of really cool content. So that was cool. And I shared it to my story. I thought it was a very well done video after the things that we've talked about. But in all honesty, all reels are kind of a reduction of a full conversation that we've had on two separate shows. So part was clipped from Sunday night show, part was clipped from yesterday's show, kind of pieced together to make this reel. I posted to my story, didn't think much of it, went on with my day. Last night, it's about, Corey, I'm sure that's what everybody's thinking. Scott Smooth baritone narrating a Hiller reel. Yeah. So that didn't think anything of it. last night I go to bed, and all of a sudden my phone just starts blowing up. And I'm going to share this. And this comes from this is my Instagram Messenger. And as you can see up here at the top, it says Metfix. So this is from the Metfix account on Instagram. And I get this video from Broken Science and a message saying, just curious how you missed all the clip calls of Greg talking to Metfix affiliates. Do you think Greg should answer to Hiller? A little confusing to hear you say this. The entitlement is off the charts. Greg is focused on our community, speaking to affiliates, speaking at our seminars, inviting attendees of the seminars to his house. It's like people want to see his time card. So I've never met Emily. The only person from Metfix that I've even talked to is Pete Shaw. I have said, like, through the two shows, I am very, very confused as to what it is. And I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And if you listen to the full context of where those clips were drawn from, you would see that I was confused and I was trying to figure it out. And when I asked Pete Shaw, your director of education, he said, we like to keep it a little bit confusing because we want you to dig in more and we want you to find more. So this is just the beginning. This is just what the initial intro to the conversation was last night. And then I get this video, 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 blah, 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 blah. And then finishes up with, not sure how you looked and saw none of this, but it's an offense to Greg for people to say he's not involved. Metfix is a part of Broken Science. There is no separation. Just as the Medical Society, the book imprint, and other efforts are part of the work. So I have not gone through all these videos. I work a full-time job during the day, so I didn't have time to go through everything. And the first three that I've clicked on say nothing about Metfix. It is all Greg talking about Broken Science. And what I said, even in that clip, was if Greg's true passion is Broken Science and talking about where we've gone wrong in science, can you believe the science? Does that make sense to you? Then that's fine. I just wish he would clear it up himself. That was all I was asking for. He could get rid of all of this drama if he came out and said, I am Greg Glassman. I believe in Metfix. I believe in the people behind Metfix. And I do believe they add value to the ecosystem and you should support them. And if he said that, all this drama would be wiped clean. But he's not saying that. And that's fine if that's, I guess, but this is exactly what overcompensate much. Oh, wow, that's a little over the top. Seems like Metfix people are getting super defensive. Yeah, why are you defending this so hard over a clip that was put into a reel? And all of a sudden you're coming at me like this, and you come at me hard in the first paragraph of the DM. And I have been working for a week trying to understand what you do, why you're different, what you're trying to accomplish. And the one person I talked to said, we want to be confusing to make you dig harder. Well, I'm a person who was over 500 pounds. If you want me to dig harder for nutrition, you've lost me already. I'm gone. I need someone to love on me and bring me in, not make it harder for me. And what in the world has science talking about the science of everything done to help people lose weight. You got to show me how. Andrew Sten says he's probably funding it and they are using his research, etc., but doubt he'll come out and clearly say anything. That's not his style, it seems. It also seems like there are clips of him saying nothing has changed in 20 years for him. It is the same thing. And his passion is about, and we don't have anybody like him in the space. His passion is about going after big sugar. It's about going after big soda. It's about defending what is right and what is real in getting people up off the couch and doing what they need to do to fight morbid obesity. And that's what worked for me in 2011. That's what worked for Athena in 2014 or whenever that was. It was getting up off the couch, moving, going to a CrossFit gym, getting loved on by that affiliate community, learning about nutrition through your coaches, using the teachings of Greg Glassman. What didn't help me lose weight was someone standing at a whiteboard telling me where all this came from and what all this meant. I get it. It defends it. It makes it true, but it doesn't help me directly lose weight. And that's the part they're missing. And I've gone now from confused to, after all of this stuff, going, I don't even care what Metfix has to say anymore. Come at me like this hard. Why? Who am I? Eat less, move more, no big science involved. The barrage of videos and DMs is going to backfire on Metfix. Andrew said, people don't want hard. Simple is good. Doesn't mean it has to be easy, but keeping it simple is better than getting people involved. Yes. Nothing is easy in weight loss. It is all hard. Don't make accessing the information hard on top of it. The only thing that Pete brought to the interview that I did that was different and new and supposedly changed the order of the fitness in 100 words was this flexible metabolic flexibility. That's what it was. I know Cheryl did a show on that this morning on this channel, Cheryl Nasso. I'm going to go watch that this afternoon and see what she has to say to that, because I'm anxious to find out what her thoughts are on that. There's a lot of conflicting information as to whether that metabolic flexibility is a valid way to lose weight. And you can actually see people that show that what they're using to prove it are the things that Greg Glassman has warned us against in Broken Science. And I think if that continues to go down that direction, Greg will have no choice but to either remove himself from that equation because it's not what he believes. And the Broken Science part is the piece that he doesn't believe in or does believe in hard. And it's going to be anxious to see how that comes together through this whole thing. New subscriber here. Do they go after Hiller? They've been going after Hiller too. But Hiller's been going back. Like, he's not backing down. Corey Leonard, simple, not easy, is a thing that Metfix doesn't seem to have learned or leaned into. That is correct. But you can go to their Instagram. I'm not showing you stuff that you can't see. You can go to their Instagram, go down and watch some of the Greg videos. A majority of them are ripped directly from a Savant podcast. There are others that they have definitely demonstrated to me have come from other things, but the content in them is not about Metfix. It's about his Broken Science initiative. It is about the things he has been preaching in the CrossFit space for many, many years. Nothing nothing in there is new and different from what Greg has been preaching. And Andrew Hiller and Taylor Self have been saying that for weeks. I was hard-headed and it took me a little bit longer to see it, but now it is obvious to me that that is exactly what's going on. Corey Leonard, I would venture to say that most people would appreciate the science broken down to them like they're 5 years old. I know I would. I know I asked Pete to do that in that interview. I was losing you guys in the chat. Jody was like, this is rough. And she showed me she has PTSD still. And I asked him to simplify it. And he said, the beauty of not simplifying it is it forces people to go look for more and learn more on their own. And that is not how you're going to affect change in the world. Let's make things so confusing that people go dig in themselves, find the research themselves, and they'll figure it out. And then they'll see that it's the way to go. There's no guarantee they're going to go in the right direction. You know how much BS is on the internet that they're going to have to sift through, and you're just hoping that they find your science? I don't know. I knew coming into this show, I was going to be cranky. I knew it was going to be a riffy type show. It was going to be a riff. So that's where we're at. Aaron, you are so right. There is so much BS out there to sift through right now. Train to live. When it comes to nutrition, most people won't deep dive and go look. They will see what is easy to find and digest. Andrew Stan, I already did undergrad and grad school. I'm past the point of doing tons and tons of research. No time for that. Well, here's the fact of the matter, right? I start CrossFit 2011, 500 pounds. I lose 250 pounds. I get down to 250, and then I start getting into these back injuries in 2016, 2017, 2018. And then I start diving for other answers. Like, if I can't work out as hard, what am I going to do? And then I start like cross bleeding all these different nutrition things, and I get them all mixed up in my head, and I gain back 100 pounds. Oh, now what am I going to do? And now I'm stuck. And then I get into depression, and then it compounds, and then it gets worse. I've been down the rabbit hole of trying to figure it out on my own. I should have kept it simple. I think that's the biggest thing I have learned this week is keep this shit simple. Just do what you know is best. And that's what I need. And so if anything good that has come out of this week is keep this shit simple. Move as much as you can. I'm 55 years old. I can't move like I could when I was 40. I move as much as I can, do the best I can, push myself as hard as I can, and then eat what I know is good. I know what putting into my body is going to fuel my body and what is going to make it feel like shit. Clock. I will never read another journal article again. Well, maybe if my life depends on it. I think there's some good stuff in the journal. I think there's like the really early stuff. The really early stuff I think is good. But there's a lot of stuff in there that's, as time went on, that got confusing. Amanda Fillers, people already want a quick fix for a pill. Trying to teach proper nutrition is hard enough. Why make it even more complicated? And C001 Kiss, that is keep it simple, stupid. Clock. I meant academic journals. Okay, now I'm on board with you 100%. You got me. Lito says, Scott, you should get E.C. Sinkowski on the podcast. No one better to simplify nutrition than her, in my opinion. I can see about that. So, yeah, I just wanted to share with you my last 24 hours, all from being the Morgan Freeman of a Hiller video. I am now being hit by Metfix from all angles with about whatever that was, 27 videos of Greg. And I think at some point, I'll go look and see if any of these talk about Metfix out of his mouth. So what is here is like, and I'll just show this one little piece and then I'll get off of this. So like they shared this post, which actually comes from the Broken Science Initiative, IG, not the Metfix. So what you have here is a quote from Greg. The deal is this. These are dependent variables of lifestyle choices, and we've identified that sedentarism, too much time on the couch, and excessive consumption of refined carbohydrates. Okay, that is the quote from Greg. We've heard him say that a million times. I will tell you that is Greg speaking. But then they add around this a Metfix logo. They add in Greg Glassman 2024 on the failure of public health and the metabolic fix. Yes, it is the fix to fix your metabolism, the metabolic fix. But metabolic fix and Metfix are not the same thing. I'm telling you, you cannot find things where he actually names Metfix. I'm sure there are a few out there, because I'm sure when I say this, they're going to find them and they're going to send them to me. But when I looked at the first 3, 4, 5 of these that came, none of them mentioned Metfix. They were all stuff talking about his broken science thoughts. Denise Moore, wow, Scott, you've had some highs and lows in the last 24 hours. You're amazing, and we love your efforts to bring us the truth. I'm just sharing my life. That's what I'm not here as like a truth teller or that I'm any better than anybody else. I'm just sharing with you what I'm going through in my life. And that's all I know how to do. But that's just an example. But maybe tomorrow when Corey's on, I'll pull up a couple of the videos. I'll tag a couple of them to find out. And I'll try to go through as many of them as I can to see if any of them actually talk about Metfix. And then I will have you with 100% certainty whether this is or isn't. Jay Birch coming in with the big words. It's really testing me out today. All Greg wants to do is write a course to teach epistemology and nature of science. I hope I said epistemology correctly. Again, Jay Birch, science, worst subject in high school. Just saying. Give me some math problems, I'll knock them out of the park. Okay, I did. I said it right. I feel better now. All right. So my last riff of the day is, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but we had another drug failing. And that drug failing was Jack Monahan from the Torian Pro tested positive for all this stuff down here. 3A hydroxy, 2A methyl, 5A androstan, 17-1, a metabolite of drostanolone, but none of that's important. What's important is down here it says it's the same thing that Phil Toon tested for. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. Phil Toon is one of the athletes who tested for the same thing. And so on the Barbell Spin, and this is all from the Barbell Spin, please go check them out. Of course, best news source in the space. Always bringing the latest and greatest stuff. But go check out. So on their Instagram, I was there and I made a joke. I made a joke that this guy couldn't possibly, and I need to pull this up one more time because you got to. Okay, I made a joke. Is there a picture of him? There's not a pic. Come on. Maybe it's back at a page. So right there is the guy, right? Look at that, the luscious lock of hair or luscious head of hair, right? When Phil Toon tested positive for this drug, his excuse was that it was there to help him with hair loss. And I just made the comment that this guy must not be on the same thing Phil Toon is because he has a full head of hair. And I did not tag Phil Toon in my comment. And I got hit up by the internet police who feel like it's their responsibility to make sure everything is done in a fair and equitable way. What's funny is the person that hit me up is in the CrossFit space. I don't know who they are. They claim to be a media person, and all they do are grab other people's Instagram posts and share them. They don't post anything of their own ever. And I said it was a slight oversight. I know Phil Toon. I've talked to Phil a ton of times. I've interviewed him on this show. Phil has a great sense of humor over this whole thing. And he actually came back with a response that he laughed at. And he says he doesn't have any hair anymore. And with a big laughing emoji, right? Why do people feel like they have to be the internet police? Like, oh my God, you didn't tag Phil Toon in this shade that you threw at him. My God, Phil Toon's been thrown so much shade. That little joke that I was telling was so minor. Are you freaking kidding me? How about get a life? Just ridiculous. Trained to live. People are such babies. Scott making enemies in the IG comments. Yeah, that's me. So Barbell Spin says Halpin is the copyright police of IG. This time it wasn't Halpin. This time it was somebody else. The one thing I will say for Halpin is, as opposed to this person, is Halpin actually produces his own content at times. This person never produces his own content. He just screen grabs everybody else's stuff and shares it like his own. But that was something that really got me in a pissy mood yesterday because it was just a joke, man. Come on. Why are we so sensitive these days? Phil Toon had to know when he said that the damn drugs were to help him with hair loss, that he was going to get ridiculed for that for the rest of his life. What a freaking joke. Anyway, and Phil laughs about it to this day. Like, Phil gets it. He screwed up. I'll say the people in the chat are pretty much dead on. I'm not going to pull it up, but you guys are dead on. So anyway, with that, guys, It's been a fun, quick 40 minutes. Glad you guys are with us each and every day. It's so much fun doing this and getting away from the workday just for a quick lunch hour and clear the senses, get back on track. And I'm so glad you're all here. Love you all. But you knuckleheads need to get back to work. And I do too. With that, we'll see everybody next time. Lunch with Clydesdale.